You are listening to the Old Skool Movements podcast. You understand?
Yes, easy. We're here for another episode of Old Skool Movements. My name's Mr. Lucas.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Stacks.
And yes, it's great. It's great to be talking with you guys again.
We're back.
It's just great. It's cold though now, man.
Man, it's proper switched, isn't it?
Winter's here, mate.
It's winter. The big coat time.
Time for the Hoff jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trip to CNA now, man.
CNA ski jacket time.
Capri jacket, man, needs to come out. The one you pull on over your head. It's time for that.
Yeah, it's time for that. Zip up the side bit.
Yeah,
wear that cardi jumper, mate.
That's coming out. Shit.
Yeah, it's coming out, mate.
Moon boots soon, man.
Moon boots. Did you ever? I never had moon boots.
No, I don't think I did.
My brother and sister had moon boots.
I used to want a pair, but I never got a pair of moon boots.
I did slightly.
Yeah.
I
was just trudging the snow with my Puma high tops and my toes hanging out the front like we got a hole in them, man. I never had moon boots.
Did you ever wear earmuffs?
I think
when
I did.
Was little.
Yeah, I think I did. It was on the market things, isn't it? You're like, go market, get some earmuffs and some magic gloves. Remember the magic gloves that stretched?
For any hand.
Any hand size fits it. A tiny little baby size.
The more it's stretched, the colder your hands got.
Colder your hands, the more exposed the flesh.
They ended up like a string vest.
Like tights on your fingers.
Oh, winter, the joys of winter.
Yeah, the winter, mate. Damn. But yeah, guys, it's back another episode of Old Skool Movements, and today I'm quite excited about today's episode.
It's not the winter special episode.
It's not. We've got a Christmas one coming though soon, haven't we?
We'll have a Christmas one. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas one.
But this episode is about films that we enjoyed in the 80s. Watched from the 80s, still watch some of them now, and never knew that they were remakes. So they're like now, all these remakes that come out, that this new generation thinks just come out, you have to teach them and go, look, that's not new. That's a remake of this, remake of that. Exactly. How many times are they gonna, rejuvenate Spider-Man, this person, and then we had Total Recall disappointing. RoboCop disappointing.
More recently, Home Alone. I know it might be 90s. Weren't our thing really, but another big film from back in the day, and it's, I can't, why would you remake that, man? Like, just leave it.
It's true. Yeah. It's not even necessary.
It's not necessary. Nor was the Ghostbusters, not the one that's just come out, but the one before, a few years back. Yeah. That one weren't necessary.
Yeah. I think all these remakes haven't been necessary. Point Break. Why? Just
money spinners, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's all it is. Like, people familiar with it, so let's just churn it out again.
It worked once. Let's do it again. Make some more money off it.
Yeah. But the funny thing about it though, are we sounding biased with our top 4 by saying, but these remakes were good remakes?
These are all right remakes
because it's our era of remakes.
Yeah, but.
Or maybe we didn't know they were remakes at the time. We were watching them thinking they're the first time round. Then finding out there was a remake, but because you've watched that one first, it's got a different
you're already attached to it.
You're already attached to it, sort of thing. Yeah.
But I think also when we saw them, I don't remember any adults saying, "Yeah, this is a remake."
Yeah,
and this is rubbish. She's saying
white version.
Like how we say now, like, nah, this is a remake. It's rubbish. An adult never said to me, nah.
Do you know what? The only
this is a remake. It's
time
rubbish.
I heard that was it The Fog or The Blob or one of those ones?
There was a few of them that were remade from black and white things. Yeah.
And I remember either my mum or dad going, "Oh, this is old. This is a remake." I was like, "What? No, this is new." Nah, there's another one.
There you go. So today's podcast is about remakes we love in the 80s. Yeah. So so we're gonna go. We do our top 4s these days, guys, because we want to do a part 2. We already got the part 2 in our heads,
and we'd go on for ages if we talked about it.
Yeah. So we want to break down our top 4 remakes that we love, and some of you guys might even know that they're remakes. So let's get into the first one now. Now, the first of the 4, when I saw this movie, it was like, these are the times when you're watching Pirates hard, and this is when horror was king. And every time a horror come out, it's like, I'm checking this.
80s
but when it started to mix, sci-fi with
horror,
like Alien, and all these different movies, it started to be a feel for it. And then this one came around the corner, starring Jeff Goldblum, looking like Arsene Wenger. In 1986, The Fly.
I was going to say as well, for me, the anticipation of seeing this film, it got built up for me, because it was that era again where we were buying Fangoria horror magazines, and because the effects in this were stepping it up a bit from other films and from the original, they had the effects to make it look better, because we didn't really see the original before this, so we didn't know what The Fly looked like or what.
I heard the original was really scary for the time.
For the time, I think it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
It set a precedent for the horrors of them black and white days. But
that was in 1958.
It was around. It was around 58. It was in 58. It was released. But for me, seeing these clips of the makeup and the special effects in the magazine, that's what thought. I really got to see this film. And I was going to say to you, I'm sure this was a mobile video man. It was
mobile video man.
Sure, we got it off of him, man.
We did. And like, I know the image in the Fangoria. It's the one where he's the fly. They're like the big eyeballs. And you see that. Damn, this film looks big.
They gave you a breakdown of how they done the fingernails. I remember like seeing that bit of the makeup of them removing the fingernail bits and stuff. And it was good.
Yeah, the fly. Stacks. You found The Fly?
Yeah, man. Of course. Yeah. I've watched it a few times. I think me and you watched it together and just called bare jokes.
Yeah. That's The Fly 2. That's The Fly 2. Yeah. Yeah. Do you realize? You're not mixing The Fly 2 with Fly 1, man.
It's all mixing into one, isn't it? It's all mixing into one.
You guys didn't research this one, man.
I thought that bit, I'm getting better. I thought that was in one.
No, when
she comes to the lab and he's like half turning.
Yeah. That was his son. That was his son.
He's got bits in the jar in the medicine cabinet.
You're mixing 2 and 1 together again.
Is it?
The cabinet jar is all one.
Yeah, that's all one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm getting better. It's part 2.
I thought it was around them sort of scenes in one. I mixed that up.
I have seen one though, but it's just like that.
Big. One was
so
big.
memorable.
Like the bit everybody used to talk about in part 1 was mainly that the cupboard, because he had his hands,
ear or something,
his ears, he had his penis in there, he had his ear. If that bits were just dropping, he'll be eating dinner and the ear would just drop off. Like, you know what I mean? And like it was just a dark film, and it was the first time you saw Jeff Goldblum. You know, and so you weren't expecting Hollywood stars. Gina Davis is in it, but he suited it. He was that erratic guy, and the original is about the remake. It is about teleportation, and the guy turns to a fly, but he actually turns to like a fly, a
blue bottle with a face on it.
With his face on it.
Yeah.
That was the effects.
I remember when we saw it after we cracked up, man. That had Vincent Price in it as well. And that kickstarted his horror career.
Yeah, it had Vincent Price in it. Yeah.
In number 1, is there a point where Jeff Goldblum has got like the fly nozzle on his face?
Yeah. He turns off, and then he vomits on the man's wrist, and the man's wrist just melts off. And his leg. Yeah. Yes. It's a good film.
Have you heard about the producer of The Fly? Did you know that it was Mel Brooks?
Mel Brooks. But
they didn't want to put the name in though, because they thought everyone's going to think this is like a Blazing Saddles, and they're all going to be like sitting around farting and shit. Yeah, but it was Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks company. They had real big problems getting production for it, because everyone was like, it's been made, you can't make it again, doesn't matter, the effects are big, and no one wanted to know. But he picked up on it and give it a chance, and they done it under Brooks Films, I think, was the production company.
It's always the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the great films, people are like, nah, it's no good.
It's true. But the fly was, and it wasn't like a conventional horror. He wasn't going around killing people. It was just transformation of this guy.
It had that Cronenberg sci-fi bit to it as well, man.
Yeah, putting too much sugars in his tea and just slyly
ODing on the sugar.
eating donuts and just getting all flyy. But but now we got some actors who turned down the parts. So we got Mel Gibson was meant to be Seth Blundell, but he turned that down to do Lethal Weapon, and William Dafoe. Really? What about my decent proposal?
He pops up in a lot of things he does.
Yeah, and you know, you kind of see that could have worked with those guys.
Yeah.
But no, Jeff Goldblum, massive.
Suited it good. Yeah.
It's a shame he wasn't in The Fly 2. Fly 2 was just a money maker. It had those scenes. Yeah, I'm getting better.
Yeah.
And so
I thought that was the first. That still seems like the first film.
Yeah. There's some big bits of Fly 2.
But Fly
was wicked. Yeah.
David Cronenberg's Fly in 1986 was good. But again, it's a remake. We didn't know that. Saw the original. It was in black and white. Yes, Vincent Price is in it.
The original was that good. It had 2 spin-offs as well, Return of the Fly and The Curse of the Fly, all through the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
You know, they just disappeared, didn't they, man? Really?
Disappeared. But the funny thing about when he's screaming in the black and white version, he's on a spider web going, "Help me!"
Yes,
help.
Yes. There's an interview with Vincent Price, like on one of them old black and white chat shows, and he says how The Fly was so much fun to make because of them scenes. They said that they had a little voice like saying "help me," and he said as soon as they heard it, the actors just cracked up, and it took them 20 minutes to calm down laughing.
I remember seeing that.
Do another scene. He said it was just one of the best films he's worked on, like, and it gave him his break into horror classic.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, man. And he got to rap on Thriller as well, so
I like
it. Yeah, be very afraid was the tagline for The Fly in 1986, and the tagline for it in 1958 was she would scream for the rest of her life. That was it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not like waiter, there's a fly in my soup or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Help me. Hanging on to the bread.
I'm in the minestrone.
There's a fly in my soup. But so you guys agree. Did you watch the original Fly, Stax?
I think I've seen bits of it.
But do you guys agree that the remake is better than the original?
Yeah. It's in colour, goddammit.
Yeah, that's a good start, isn't it? And the effects
I love black and white too, but no, it's the effects that do it. Seeing a real blue bottle with a face on it is too funny. Like, I can't take it as like how you seen, you know, the Fly we know.
It's true. The Fly we know, you know.
Fly we know.
So 1986, The Fly. That's our 4th. Now let's get into our number 3.
This one surprised me. I didn't know this was a remake. I remember when the original come out, it was quite a big film. Again, it was one of them films where it had a good comedy actor who weren't really doing PG or kid-rated films at the time. His stage shows were X-rated, and it just made you think, right, this is going to be good. It's got Richard Pryor in it. It's got to be good. Yeah,
it's true. And because he started to come with all the films with Gene Wilder in it and Superman 3. Yeah. And then it's just like, this is him stepping out solo, doing his thing. And that's at number 3 is Brewster's Millions.
Brewster's Millions. I never knew there was an earlier version.
Yeah, neither did I.
Brewster's Millions.
Looking into it though, it gets really interesting with Brewster's Millions because it's got a good story. Because it was originally set on a novel written in 1902. And then that was turned into a Broadway play back in 1906. I love these old days, man. You can imagine it, like, just going to Broadway in 1906. And then the first film came out in 1914. And there's been 4 films, and we know the last one, the 1985 version. But it was 1914, 1921, 1935, and 1985. And most of us, I don't know who this dude is, but most of us of our generation, we hear of an old school actor called Fatty Arbuckle. Have you heard the name Fatty Arbuckle?
The name, I know it was like a restaurant.
I just know
that's Garfunkel's.
I think there is a Fatty Arbuckles or something to do with a restaurant.
It's a burger chain.
I'm thinking he might be right.
I've never heard of that.
I've heard the name, don't know who he is, but he starred in the 1921, the second version of this film.
Were they always called Brewster's Millions?
All Brewster's Millions. All Brewster's Millions, yeah, man. Yeah. That's mad, isn't it? 4 films, a novel, and a stage show. So from the turn of the century, for a whole 100 years, this thing has been just dishing it around. And I've only ever known until recently of the 1985 one.
Do you guys remember the storyline to it?
Yeah,
he had to spend £1 million before a certain time.
In 30 days?
Yeah, you had to spend 30 million in 30 days.
30 days to inherit like 500 million or something.
To inherit 300 million.
Or that would go to some charity or something. Or
at the end of the spree, he couldn't have nothing to show for it, so he had to blow that money.
Yeah. You couldn't have no material things like you can just go and buy a big car, big house.
And then they tried to stitch him up by handing him back a receipt for something, innit?
With John Candy as well. Another classic, innit, with John Candy. He was great.
That's one of those films as a kid that made you think, if you had Brewster's Millions, what would you do?
Yeah.
What would you do? Do you know what I mean? Like, as a kid, I don't know what I would do, but as an adult, I would know what to do with that and not have anything at the end of it.
Exactly. You would just want to buy stuff, innit? You would want Optimus Prime and Mr. T figure and I don't know.
You know what? If it is 30 million, and if you blow it all with nothing to show for it, you get 300 million or whatever. I'd just blow the 30 million and have something to show for it.
And just keep the something to show for it and forget the 300 million.
Yeah. What's the dilemma, really?
It's win-win. It's win-win.
What's the dilemma, really?
Especially when you're our age when we watch it.
You've got 30 million. Invest in something, make that 300 million, and just chill.
Buy 3 houses and rent one out.
The film's done in 2 minutes. You gotta do this, go do this. All right, fuck it. I'll take as much time as I want. I've got 30 mil. What? That's the film finished. That film conned us in stacks. You've cracked the case on that movie.
Keep your 300 million. I'm happy with 30.
Keep your 300 million. I'm on 30. I'm happy with 30.
More than enough.
What am I rushing my dinner for? I'm gonna get indigestion. Do you know what I mean? Chill with this steak.
When they
That's a good one.
Baseball players or something. It had something to do with baseball, didn't it? The original. I can remember like baseball stadium.
I just remember him coming out of money in baseball games.
I'm sure he was a baseball pitcher.
I think he played for a club or something, and he ended up spending. Yeah, he ended up spending the money there. They're giving him some money or something, and then they let him play or whatever it is.
Wasn't one of his best films, but it was all right around them days.
It was all right. I liked it.
It was all right. I liked it too. I liked it. And I remember it from when we were going. When we were going to the cinema, they were giving out $100 bills, but with Brewster's face, like with Richard Pryor on it. And I had like a good little stack of them. I remember handing a few out at school, and I kept one for ages, but gone now, man. But they were good little things, little handouts at the cinema.
Brewster's Millions. Yeah, that's one that surprised me to find out that it's a remake.
Yeah. The original as well, going back to that 1914 original, that was directed by Cecil B. DeMille, which is another name you hear in the film. No, you never heard of Cecil B. DeMille?
Nah.
Famous film.
You don't hear that name. I've never heard Barry Norman mention that in the 80s. If Barry Norman didn't mention it, I know who you're talking about. It's like some fashion designer, man.
Barry Norman don't even know. That's way before
Google him up. You guys should know it.
Yeah,
You'll know him.
That's a fashion. You get it mixed up with fashion designer, man.
Cecil B. DeMille. Google him up. People know. He directed the first one.
We know.
He directed the first one.
Brewster's Millions. So guys out there, were you a fan of Brewster's Millions? Did you know it was a remake? Let us know, man.
Has anyone seen the other 3 that we spoke about?
Seen the other 3. I didn't even know there was another 3.
I ain't seen them. And the first one as well, the main character who plays Brewster, he's the star of the play. He was so good doing the play. They just like, we're going to take you and use you as the film version. So he starred in the play and in the film version for the original. The Cecil B. DeMille directed version.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Cecil.
Cecil there.
He was busy. He's busy, really, old Cecil. All right. So our number 2, man. Like this one, right? This is like when, superhero films started with Superman, like movies in cinemas. Superman, across the screen, Superman. You know what I mean?
Who is this Superman?
But this movie, this is one of those movies. I don't know about how you guys experienced it, but it just came on TV.
It just appeared.
Hold on a minute. There's every villain. There's the Joker, there's Penguin, there's Catwoman. every villain.
Had we already seen a few of the TV shows? Because this started as a TV show. Had we already seen a few of them? We had, innit?
We
Like
saw this,
they'd been on.
I remember
the
watching it and
repeats.
going. I remember watching it and going. This is a bit longer than the
usual
20-minute episode.
Standard,
This is more feature than that. And I always remember the bit. We used to laugh at the bit when he was walking around with the bomb. There was a bomb, and he's at a fairground. He's running around. Yeah,
I just remember nuns. He's trying to give it like, no, they can't give it to them. Like, where are we going to put it?
and his shark repellent spray and all the rest of it, and his back copter. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the first Batman movie that was in 1966.
The real Batman movie, you mean?
Yeah,
the real Batman movie, the one with the pow, boom, biff, comes up on the screen in colourful colour graphics. That one's
and all the villains.
That one's good.
As a kid, I was amazed by that.
Cartoon. You can't beat seeing the Batmobile flying out of that leafy bush and the secret Batcave, or the duo using the Bat pole to get down into the Batcave. We used to love all that.
All of that, and it was the first time. Like seeing like live action,
your cartoon,
but it's so colourful and bright.
Your cartoon comic books come to life. Like
it brought it to life, man. And when you saw the movie with every villain,
all the villains,
everyone
from all of the episodes, like they were all in it. They were all in it. The cast was big. The cast was massive.
Yeah.
And do you realise as well? I didn't realise it until recently as well. It is one of the only sort of sitcom studio shot TV shows that didn't use the canned laughter, even though it's got enough laughter in it. It's funny. Like they didn't have that studio laughter like what you had with Happy Days and all of them other things at the time.
It would have made it. I'm so glad it didn't.
It would have made it maybe too. It was funny though. It was funny, and it was sort of camp, wasn't it? Camp humor. Like it was.
Yeah,
it
but
was weird,
as a kid, you ain't thinking that.
You ain't thinking that. It's the slapstick comedy.
It's Batman. It's Batman. It's how you know. That's your first. If you were born in the 70s and 80s, that's Batman to you. That's the first introduction to Batman.
Get Dark Knight and all of that.
Exactly. That's Batman to you.
You're looking at Adam West and Burt Ward. That is it, man.
Do you know what I mean?
It's just family friendly.
Dick
That's
Grayson.
It. But in 1989, it all changed. Tim Burton took the reins and announced, and brought out the movie Batman. And that was a total different look to what we were expecting. Had the same logo. They fooled us by showing the same, the front cover was just the same logo. That didn't look any different. But it was just a completely different film to what I was expecting personally. For a start, there was no Robin.
There's no Robin.
Dark. It was,
Batmobile had changed, and I loved the original Batmobile.
With the red lines around it.
The original Batmobile was wicked, man.
It didn't say pow, kabam, and all that. It was just a totally different. It's a totally different thing. But what did you guys think of the 1989?
Personally, probably still one of my favorite Batmans. Because of the fact it was so different. It was just like, wow, and it was dark. It was, mate. I feeling that one and one after with Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Batman films that I liked the most.
Yeah. So compared to the Adam West version, what do you think?
For me, it's hard to compare them, man.
It's very hard to compare.
It's like I want to, because I love the Adam West 60s one, but
the way I see Adam West 60s one is I see it more as a series than
as a TV show. This is the way I'm looking at it. If you're comparing the movie from the 60s, which again I love that rubber shark and the shark repellent spray like you were saying, but comparing it as movies, I'll probably the 89 version.
Yeah.
As a movie, but I love the 60s ones as them little series, and
wicked.
But there's some good bits in that movie as well. Though.
I'm going for the 60s movie.
There was some good bits in that movie, man.
Just because, as I said, it just popped up because remember, there's no Sky, there's no cable, nothing like that.
It was just a free movie.
It just whatever comes on, and to have that on your telly at home, in your comfortability. Do you know what I mean?
An hour and a half of it or whatever.
Eating Golden Wonder crisps, and you're seeing a full length Batman. For me, that was just amazing.
Yeah, that was
because I didn't expect it. And it just blew up. But with this Batman film, there was big hype. You queued up for ages.
Yeah.
And then you went, it's all right. Do you know, I left cinema at 89 going, it's all
It's
right.
all right, yeah, it's all right. For me,
So
the
I saw
highlight was
Pirate.
Jack Nicholson. I think the highlight of when I saw it. I weren't sure on. I think I was one of them ones as well. There was a lot of talk about like, is Keaton the right person? Because he'd only done a few comedy films before that, and they were like, you know, yeah, and you know, is he going to be right? But yeah, I liked him as it. I thought he played it right. For me, it was. I think Jack Nicholson was the character of the film that made the film.
But again, the old Joker is my favorite Joker.
He's my favorite Joker. Same here. Yeah, same here.
And he was in the movie.
In my list of Jokers, Nicholson's probably about my third best Joker. I like him, and then I like the most recent Joker film, the standalone one.
Yeah.
I like him as my second Joker, and after the original one, man.
But did you know? Here's another actor who didn't beat the Joker.
There was a
Robin
few.
Williams. Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Joker.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have worked.
Yeah. And then they chose Jack Nicholson instead. And then they asked him to be the Riddler for the third Batman. He turned that down.
And then so Jim Carrey done it.
They also had Tim Curry, David Bowie, John Lithgow. I think even done a screen test for it, which would have been weird. Ray Liotta, James Woods,
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan was also Yeah, a lot played out, but apparently they had already approached Jack Nicholson when he was filming Witches of Eastwick. That one of the directors or producers was connected with both films, and they'd already approached him, and he'd already agreed. But he agreed some wicked terms to film that film. He at the time it was said that back in like the late 80s, early 90s, his set fee was 10 million a film, but he said I agreed to do it for 6 and take a cut of all profits of the film and a cut of any merchandise it sold.
Damn.
It was said that he was to have made around $50 million, but a book writer who wrote a book on him later says no, that was more double that off of that film, that one film alone.
Yeah,
back in them days,
raking in that money.
He negotiated that one.
100 mil.
Do you know that Adam West was vexed that they didn't choose him to play Batman in the 89 Batman?
I'm not surprised. I'd be vexed if I.
He was 61. He can't be Batman. He's old
Batman. But they went through a lot though. They offered it to like I think Mel Gibson, Kevin Costner,
again,
Tom Selleck, which I thought might be a bit of a weird one. I don't think he would have took the moustache off.
Mustache.
They'd have to blend it in like they did on the old Joker, innit? It'd be one of them, man.
Just into bat wings.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid, and also Bill Murray was in the running for possibly.
Yeah. I heard that. But yeah, man, it's like, and people more focus when they think of this Michael Keaton one. It's more about who played the characters in the 89. In the 66, it's Batman fighting these people.
Yeah.
But this one, it's like, it's got Michael Keaton, it's got Kim Basinger, it's got Jack Nicholson.
We didn't care if it was Eartha Kitt or you know who was playing Catwoman or Burgess Meredith. Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of those actors before watching that Batman. I didn't know Jack Nicholson. I didn't know Keaton.
You never knew Jack? You didn't watch The Shining or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Or Witches of Eastwick, or that just come out not long before it. Yeah,
I hadn't watched that. I hadn't watched Beetlejuice either.
Oh wow!
So I didn't know any of the characters. So that again, it didn't. All the whole hype over. The only hype I knew about it, Prince made a tune for it. That's all.
Tune. He done an album.
Well,
he
got
credit
the rights of that as well. Yeah,
again,
he got an album out of it.
All I'm thinking of is the song 1999.
That went on the Batman album.
Was it?
No.
Wasn't that in the film when he had the inflatables?
Nah, that's a completely different. That he wrote this or every tune just for Batman.
No way.
Yeah.
What is that one when in the carnival bit?
Oh hell, you kick in town. Is that one? Yeah, that's a big tune though.
1999.
Nah, it's a Prince.
I don't recall hearing that.
Produced soundtrack just for Batman.
Okay.
Every tune on there is just made for
You
Batman.
can tell, you can tell.
That was the only thing that I knew
sound,
about.
it?
Yeah, but apparently George Michael and Michael Jackson were supposed to do the soundtrack album.
That'd have been interesting.
First off, yeah. That would have been interesting. Interesting. Yeah. And you know the famous line in the trailer when he grabs the dude, he goes, "I'm Batman."
Yeah.
That that was when the trailer came out. That was all you were seeing. But apparently that was an ad lib from Michael Keaton because it's originally written as "I am the night." But
nah.
you know,
I'm Batman. That works a lot
I was
better.
gonna say, yeah.
That works a
Yeah, I
lot.
was
I'm
gonna say,
interested in this new one. You know, talking about
Yeah, and that, yeah.
Allow
See,
it,
see,
man.
see, Batman is something.
new one looks
Batman
really.
is
I've got the
something
same sort of hype as that one.
has
I don't
remakes on remakes on remakes.
Remakes and remakes.
How many times you got to hear that story again? It's
You know what I'm
like,
saying? I'm done. I'm done with
we're
Batman.
going back to
I'm done
the
with Superman. I'm
remake.
done with Spider-Man.
yeah, Stacks, you're done with every film.
I still like watching. They're still entertainment. I can't wait. Spider-Man's coming soon. I can't wait to see that Batman.
The only one is the multiverse cartoon one. That's the only Spider-Man I got time for.
Yeah, that's good.
And that one was good.
That's good.
Oh, multiverse, right.
This next one
Yeah.
looks interesting. The way they are mixing the multiverses now of Spider-Man. This new one looks interesting.
But yeah, so you're looking forward to the new Batman, Chris?
Yeah, I think it looks good. I like the way they've used so he's got like a Mustang now as the Batmobile. Like they've really tried to change it from this how it was. You know what I mean?
Stacks is not impressed.
Mate, it looks like
A Mustang? Are you kidding me?
it's a souped up looking Batmobile Mustang thing, man.
It
That's
can't
what
be
it
a
looks
Mustang,
like.
mate.
It looks like a
Fast and the
Mustang.
Furious. He's joined Fast and the Furious.
I'll send you a picture of it. I'll try and send you a picture.
I am
of
the
it.
night.
But you know,
in my new car.
I'm definitely not a fan of the guy who's now Batman. But after seeing these clips of him, you know, in the makeup, in the role with the voice, I think this might be all right. You know, I think this one could be really good.
Look, Chris, there's a big yin and yang between you and Stacks, yeah. Because Chris, you watch any movie, and any movie's always a 7 out of 10. Any movie, that's your lowest mark for a movie.
No, there is some clangers, man. I do watch some
where Stacks has got no tolerance, doesn't care what's out.
You got to give things a shot. But again, see, I'm going to be looking at this as the way it's shot as well, not just how it. You know how you look at a film.
Yeah.
I loved the first one. That was a Lincoln Futura. That recently sold only a few years back for $4.2 million at auction. The original Batmobile, what they used in the '66 series. Yeah, a Lincoln Futura. That was weird. I loved that one, man. I love that car. That was wicked.
But yeah, that is the original Batmobile is my favorite Batmobile, and that's why the 1966 one.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So that's why I haven't liked.
And
that's sort of why I like the newer one, because it's gone back to a muscle car, not a weird looking, alien looking sort of.
It's supposed to be a weird alien looking thing, though.
But no, the original weren't. The original was a Lincoln. It was a souped up Lincoln.
It had alien feel.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay. Look.
It
Let's
weren't
get
far
back
off
to
of like a Dukes of Hazzard's car. You know, you jumped in it the way. So to me, it was just like a converted muscle car.
Yeah, but there was something else about it. There was something like the flames out the back and everything.
Look, remember, we're talking about 89 versus 66.
Yeah.
So yes. So for me, it's probably 1966. Batman Returns, and then Christian Bale's Batman.
I'm still going to stick with 89, but the 66 car is the best Batmobile.
Definitely the best Batmobile.
100%.
Yeah, and then I'll go for Christian Bale's, but it turns into a bike. I like that.
Yeah. I quite like the Christian Bale.
I don't even know if I've seen it. I can't remember if I've seen it. I might have
probably have it. You probably have
it. I might. I can't even remember.
So Stats, you're going for 89. You think the remake is better than the original. Chris, what are you going for?
I was going like comparing the two films, and I was saying probably the 89 was a better film, but I got so much love for those TV shows and the film
the TV
as well.
show, the film.
I've got to go with the film then. I've got to go with that with the earlier one then, because the characters are amazing and the actors are wicked, makeup's wicked. It's the first.
Good. It is good.
It is good.
I can't knock the 66.
Can't knock it. And like I say, the cars, the helicopter. I love that one, man. It was wicked. Like, as corny as it is, it's wicked.
I loved it, mate.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to our number one. So our number one.
This could be another one that people might not know.
Exactly. Yeah. This people might not know because the original came out in 1932, and it was about rising to the top of the bootlegging game in 1930 Chicago. But as you know what bootlegging is, it's selling illegal liquor. And that was the big thing. So they brought a few. Listen here, see, boys, a Tommy gun is them days.
My friend Tommy Gun.
Hey, my friends. There's Trixie there. Give me a nickel. It was one of those movies. And so when this one came out, I didn't see this until late 80s, 90s.
Late,
This has been out in like mid 80s, and adults would all talk about this film, the type of film that
it didn't seem like it was for us at the time. It was like,
the way it's shot as a kid, it isn't bright, it seems like one of those dull films, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you sat down and watched it, it was like, okay,
it blew you away.
It blew you away.
Yeah,
and
I was there, I laughed at my little friend. It was like,
it blew his nose away, and that's Scarface, man. Scarface, that came out when did it come out?
The new one was 83, or the new
83.
The remake.
The original was 1932.
32, which was loosely based on a novel inspired by the story of Al Capone. A 1929 novel, and the film made. It had another name as well. It's called Scarface, The Shame of a Nation, is what it was released under, but obviously just known as Scarface. But that is the original gangster film. That I haven't seen anything listed before them times of just talking about, that the family, that Italian boss, that style of gangster.
But that's the thing. Scarface isn't that type of gangster film.
No,
Scarface is about a guy just struggling and rising to the top his own way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's a
Cuban refugee into Miami when he came penniless into the country and became built his way up.
I just love how they changed the whole. I'll say that at the top. The whole bootlegging thing was the illegal thing to be doing. Yeah, but for the 80s, it fitted to do it with cocaine because that was the 80s thing, and it just suited the time. Like Miami was all like pastel colored buildings and like palm trees and stuff.
Art Deco.
Art Deco. It just looked wicked at the time.
And that's what
the
was
neons
happening.
Just fitted with the 80s, wasn't it?
It was a perfect film for the perfect decade to do it in. You know what I mean? That stuff. And it even became like a manual for people to watch. It's something, if you haven't watched it, no matter what generation you are, it's like, what are you doing with your life? You've got to watch it.
Every country's probably got there. You got to watch these 3 films or these 4 films. It's one of them. It's in amongst that bunch that you've got to watch.
And I was saying at the top, I didn't even know until a couple of years ago that it is a remake.
It's a remake,
and what a remake it is. But it got remade into a Bollywood version as well. Really? And an Egyptian version. In the 90s, they made a Bollywood version.
Yeah,
Atish Baz. Yeah. And then an Egyptian version.
Bollywood version is always good.
Bollywood version, it's about 2.5 hours long. Longer, like you can make 2 Scarfaces in
Lots
that
of
one.
singing.
Lots of singing. So that would be.
And there'd be a helicopter at the end.
Of course there would. and there's an Egyptian version as well. So that came out in the 90s. But hey, I don't think we'll be watching them in a hurry. But
do you know what they used? Do you know what they used for the substance when they were filming?
There's rumors that there's so many different things. Like,
from what I heard, it was a crushed up baby laxatives. Don't know why you would think of using baby laxative, but he sniffed so much of it, he caused damage to his nasal passages. They were saying, so God knows what it was doing to his back passage if it was blooming laxative. Oh my God. He must have been in the toilet for a long time, man. Like,
dude, I don't know. I don't know what that could have been, but Scarface is one of those films. I was saying, like, you put it up against Goodfellas and you put it up against all the rest of them. Do you know what I mean? And like, but as I was saying, they're different films. It's not about a family. It's about a rogue dude and his mate. Gets a couple of mates and just takes over.
Runs it.
And just, and hip hop embraced it. Like, it was all over hip hop in the 90s.
That picked up on it big time.
And it was just like, it's something you if it's on, you just sit down, isn't it?
Yeah, you watch it.
You watch it. No
questions asked.
I read as well that the scene that everyone loves, the big gunfight on the balcony at the end, that was a lot. There was bits of that all shot by Steven Spielberg, who just happened to be visiting set or visiting. At the time,
imagine that. You come see your mate shooting a film. Can I just see the shot?
How about if you stand over there and shoot that lot and sniff all the way across that lot?
Imagine that. That is crazy. That is crazy.
There was talking about the hip hop connection as well. One hip hop artist, Cuban Links, he actually wrote a sequel called The Son of Scarface, The Son of Tony, Scarface 2, and this was around the turn of millennium, around 2001, 2000, and it got all the way up to more or less production, but something happened with the movie rights issues, and he lost apparently creative control of the full projects are pulled out, and it all just collapsed from them. But there was talk last year that there's still, that rather than a sequel, there's going to be a remake made.
I heard
it's meant to be the
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I think the Coen brothers are involved, rewriting it, and that was only last year. So
yeah,
you never know. It could be a third. It's weird how that hasn't been remade yet, to be honest. Considering that was 83.
Yeah, because that's one film. I know, like, you know, we said it was Total Recall and something. And all
You don't need
but
to.
that's one film. You don't need to do anything with that.
Yeah,
it's just like it
that.
suited the time.
Yeah.
Just how the first one suited the bootlegger time, the second one suited the cocaine time, and that's it. What are you gonna do now? Like balloons? What's the drug? You know what I mean? It's like just
leave it. That was Michelle Pfeiffer's first film as well, isn't it? And obviously she went on to do a Batman, who we just mentioned as well.
Yeah.
No, leave that one now. Don't bother doing that now.
That's it, man. The body count of 42 that film had, man. So there's a lot of murder in that, man. A lot of murder in that. And you know, John Travolta was meant to play the part of Manny. You know, his best man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't do that. But yeah, so I've seen the original 1932 version.
I haven't seen it.
It is a good film. It's black and white. It's black and white, but
what year was it done?
32.
But
you know, from what I've seen, the remake is a much better movie.
The Palmer version. Yeah, he dedicates the film to the writers of the original, so it's probably mentioned somewhere at the end of the film.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best remakes ever. Scarface, man.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know that.
#1 remake.
But guys, I hope you've liked our top 4 80s remakes that we love.
I mean,
you know,
this is
part 1 because we got some juicy ones for part 2. I'll wait to get stuck into the part 2.
Yeah.
But guys, for now, peace out. I'm Mr. Lucas.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Stacks.
Peace. See you next time.
Those were the days I remember.